They came into the 2000 season with a very strong package. Their Toyota Corolla World Rally car had taken the World Manufacturers' Championship in 1999. And the pair was determined to break Vaughan's run of Australian titles, which dated back to 1996. But the team was dealt a massive blow in the opening round. Despite off-season testing that showed marked improvement, it was Vaughan's Subaru Pirelli package that had the run of the woods over the Corolla Michelin combination. The strong result by Vaughan put huge pressure on the Toyota team. They went to Queensland right on the money. A Heat 1 victory by Bates set up a season of maximum determination.
Tight.
At Coffs Harbour, it all seemed to come unstuck.
Jump.
An awkward landing caused a massive hit to the radiator.
Bend long left forward. It was a heavy landing. Does everything feel all right?
We came off a bridge and there was just a bit of a hump and we just had bridge jump. Thought it was nothing and held it flat over it and certainly turned into something. Like the car just stood up and landed on its nose and it's pushed the sump guard up into the radiator support panel and into the radiator, and it's got a huge hole in the radiator. Like, we could try and get through the next stage, but it'll only destroy the engine.
But Bates swept through to take Heat 2 and kept his title hopes on track. Melbourne was the highlight of Bates' season. He attacked from the start, charging past Vaughan to take victory in Heat 1. Heat 2 was more aggressive and even more satisfying. The result was a complete turnaround from the opening in Perth.
We're just so happy to go into the final round, even on points, and it's going to be a very tough Saxon Safari, and I'm looking forward to it.
Bates and Vaughan went to the Saxon Safari tied for the lead on corrected points. It was the closest championship fight ever. But a massive testing accident 2 days before that start all but ended Bates' challenge. Inspired work by his crew got the Corolla to the start line. In touch early, Bates was on attack, but an electrical failure stopped him for more than 10 minutes on stage 3. Further damage from the testing accident soon affected the car's handling. All things considered, second place in the final round was a mighty effort.
The second half of the year's been great. It's just very unfortunate that this event wasn't a good event for us. We could have possibly won our fourth Australian Championship, but instead Possum's got his fifth, and we'll have to go and do some more work.
Possum Bourne knew he had a battle on his hands even before the season started. His dominant win in Western Australia shocked his rivals, but he was very aware the real challenge lay ahead. Bourne had taken on a new co-driver. Heavy work commitments for the regular Craig Vincent caused experienced note caller Mark Stacey to be drafted, and his commitment was a major key to Bourne's campaign.
Hairpin left.
In Queensland, Bates' Heat 1 win fired up the Subaru squad, and their charge during the second leg secured a tied result. Coffs Harbour marked the halfway point, and a strong performance by Subaru could have seized a major advantage. Bourne's win and Bates' non-finish in the opening heat appeared to do just that, but a small error in Heat 2 cost Bourne massive time.
Short 5 right, and 4 left tightens, and right.
The collision with the embankment broke the front drive shaft. While Stacey surveyed the damage, the crew tumbled down the order. It became worse when the brakes failed and Bourne literally watched his points go up in dust.
Just made his day. Long 4 right opens, and 3-4 left line.
Where they graded the road's quite crowned, and I was coming around the corner and just got a fraction wide and clipped the bank, and it pushed the nose in, broke the drive shaft, spun us round and stalled. So we got going again, and then I thought, oh, something's broken. So we stopped just after the jumps. Stace had a look, but he said, hey, everything is on there, so it looks okay. So we carried on, and then just at the bottom of the hill, we lost all the brakes as well. so we had to drive it out on the handbrake.
In Melbourne, Bourne's West Australian elation seemed light years away as Bates stormed through to win. So it all came down to Tasmania. In comparison to Bates' test accident, a blown engine for Bourne was no less dramatic. A crew member made a mercy dash to Japan for a new cylinder head, and Bourne set about rebuilding his car and his confidence.
When you're fighting for the championship at the last round, you're worried. You need to be right dialed in and get your crap together and drive it as hard as you can. You get beaten on the day like that, that's fair.
Driving to a plan and disregarding what his rivals were up to, Bourne went on the attack. When the weather closed, he continued his all-out effort, bettering Saxon Safari's stage records, even with the road covered in snow.
And short 6-7 left. And short 7 right, 90.
2000 had been a season of Bourne at his best. The emotions at the finish of the Saxon Safari were very real.
It was probably the best days rallying this year for us. Mark and I just had a blast today. We had a lot of fun.
Bourne and Stacey were champions again, ahead of Bates and Taylor, with Crocker and Folletta third. But while the Drivers' Championship was decided, the manufacturer's title was claimed at Telstra Rally Australia. Subaru also took the manufacturer's championship ahead of last year's winners Mitsubishi, with third place going to Toyota. ...2000 was a dynamic year for Australian rallying. So what's ahead for 2001? Some hints have been dropped throughout the season. A promotional version of the Hyundai Accent World Rally car made an appearance at Coffs Harbour and at the Sydney Motor Show. New rules will make production cars stronger and faster and increase competitive pressure on the World Rally cars. Excited by that prospect, at least one manufacturer may enter a junior team, introducing another top-class works entry to an already strong field. A full-time return of the screaming Formula 2 Volkswagen Golf of Simon and Sue Evans will further recharge excitement. Toyota is going Formula 1 racing in 2002, and its technical ties with Michelin in that program are likely to benefit Neil Bates as he seeks tyre performance parity with Possum Bourne. A new event, the Rally of South Australia, makes its debut in 2001. The South Australian government-backed event is determined to set a new standard in the Super Series. FAI Rally of Canberra is on the calendar for next year as a round of the Asia Pacific Championship, and Telstra Rally Australia is scheduled for Perth in early November. If 2000 is anything to go by, the Australian Rally Championship in 2001 will be nothing short of sensational.